Welcome to this on-demand presentation describing our study, Computer and Smartphone Administered Versions of the Cogstate Brief Battery are equivalent on performance accuracy, but not performance speed. The use of smartphones to assess cognition has great potential to increase access to assessment and for use in novel experimental designs, such as ecological momentary assessment. The Cogstate Brief Battery, or CBB, is a well-validated computerized test battery whose simple design and response requirements make it suitable for smartphone administration. Described here is one of a series of studies intended to establish the feasibility, validity, and reliability of smartphone CBB assessment. The CBB itself is comprised of 4 tests of psychomotor function, attention, working memory, and visual learning, with these tests described here in order of increasing task difficulty or cognitive load. A full test session of the CBB with the detection, identification, one back and one card learning tests typically takes around 10 to 12 minutes for a healthy adult to complete. In the present study, a convenient sample of 60 healthy young adults were recruited into a crossover design in which they were asked to complete 3 consecutive assessments of the computer and smartphone CBB in a randomized crossover fashion. Additionally, participants were invited to complete 2 at-home assessments using the smartphone, and during which researchers contacted the participant during the night to prompt them to complete a test session. This was at a time when they would usually be sleeping and at a time unknown to the participant, and was intended to explore sensitivity to effects of sleepiness and sleep disturbance. 72 potential participants were screened in order to recruit 60 into the study, and 51 of these also participated in the overnight testing sessions. The participants were majority female and majority Asian ethnicity, with a mean age of 24.5 years and mean years in education of 16.5 years. Mean depression, anxiety and stress scores on the DAS were in the normal range. The study was a bring your own device or BYOD study for the smartphone component, and so participants had to have their own smartphone for use in the study. Moving to the results, the CBB test showed comparable test-retest reliability across smartphone and computer, with smartphone ICCs in the range 0.61 to 0.88 and computer ICCs in the range 0.62 to 0.85. For those tests where performance speed is typically used as an outcome measure, detection, identification and one back, performance was found to be slower on the smartphone than the computer, with Cohen's d effect sizes in the range 0.4 to 0.53. For those tests where performance accuracy is typically used as an outcome measure, one back and one card learning, performance was equivalent across smartphone and computer, with Cohen's d effect sizes of 0.08 and 0.18. Comparing nighttime to daytime assessment using only the smartphone, large and statistically significant effects on performance were observed for both detection and identification speed, with Cohen's d effect sizes of 1.01 and 0.84, as well as a more moderate effect on identification accuracy, Cohen's d effect size of 0.57. In conclusion then, these results indicate that smartphone CBB has high feasibility and acceptability, good reliability, and that accuracy of performance was equivalent between the smartphone and computer versions. However, the smartphone CBB generally and the smartphone operating system do appear to influence performance speed, and this may be related to hardware and operating system having effects on display lag and input lag, as well as human factors issues. Despite this, within smartphone assessment was both reliable and sensitive to effects of sleepiness or sleep disturbance, as identified during the nighttime assessments. This study then highlights important considerations for the use of smartphone-administered cognitive tests as well as demonstrating how they may be used to study phenomena outside of the laboratory setting, and for us provide encouraging support for the continued use of smartphone CBB. Many thanks for listening.